One of the common goals of the militant leaders was to achieve Swaraj or self-rule. Leaders differed on the meaning of Swaraj. For Swaraj was restricted to administration or rule by the natives but not severance or relation with Britain. In Bipan Chandra Pal's view, Swaraj was the attainment of complete freedom from any foreign rule. Unlike the moderates who were critical of the reckless revolutionaries, militant nationals were sympathetic towards them. However, the terrorism was not approved by the militant leaders, and they were cautious of associating themselves with the cause of the revolutionaries. The patriotism glued with the assertion of Hindu beliefs were not acceptable to the Muslims. They failed to penetrate with the Swadeshi movement failed to penetrate larger section of the society. In 1998, militant nationalism was on the decline. The Surat split of 1907 was another contribution for this decline. The tension between militants and moderates were more pronounced with the appointment of Lord Minto, the Viceroy of India in 1906, as tension was rising between two groups. Split was avoided in 1906 Calcutta session by accepting demands of moderate leaders and electing Dadabhai Nauroji as president. Most of the moderates led by Feroz Shah Mehta were defeated in the election. The militants managed to pass four resolutions. Uh, on Swadeshi boycott, national education and self-government. The next session of Congress was originally planned to be held in Pune, but it was a stronghold of the militants. Fearing a repeat of Calcutta session, the moderates shifted the venue to Surat. Uh, the militants proposed Lala Lajpat Rai's name for the next Congress presidency, opposing the moderate candidate Raj Behari Bose. Lala Lajpat Rai, however, turned down the offer to avoid the split. The matter finally boiled down to retaining four resolutions that were passed in the Calcutta session in 1906. Feroz Mehta group sought removal of those items from the agenda in order to counter Mehta's maneuvering. The militants decided to oppose the election of Raj Behari Bose as president. The election the session ended in showers. Indian National Congress, born in December 1885, was now split into two groups, militant and moderate. The Congress which emerged out of the Suez split was more loyal to British than they were before. Around 1998, the decline of the militant nationalism and the rise of revolutionary activities marked an important shift from non-violent methods to violent action. It also meant a shift from mass-based action to a light response to the British rule. In Bengal, revolutionary terrorism had developed even further. Around 1870s, gymnasiums were set up in various places for the level party. Swami Vivekananda had described as strong muscles and nerves of steel. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee's novel Anand Math had also had a significant impact. Anand Math was widely read by the revolutionaries in Bengal. The Bande Mataram song, which is a part of the novel, became the anthem of the Swadeshi movement. During the Swadeshi movement, three factors contributed to the upsurge in the individual acts of violence. The political constructive programs had a little acceptance among the youth. The failure of the militant nationalists to lead the young people had a long-term mass movement also contributed to the growth of individual action. The revolutionary action was part of an effort towards the symbolic recovery of Indian manhood, which the revolutionists believed was often challenged upon by the British. However, such actions did not lead to any organized or revolutionary movement, as was the case in Russia. The revolutionary actions were mostly attempts to assassinate specific British officers. The Bengal, the story of revolutionary terrorism begins in 1902 with the formation of many secret societies. Most notably among them was the National Committee of Calcutta, founded by Jatindranath Banerjee and Barindra Kumar Ghosh, brother of Aurobindo Ghosh. Similarly, the Dhaka Anushilnan Samiti was born in 1906 through the initiative of Pulin Behari Das. This was followed by the launch of the revolutionary weekly Yuganta. The Kolkata Anishilan Samiti soon started its activities, and firstly the Swadeshi Daikoti to raise funds was organized in Rangpur in August 1906. Hemachandra Kanunga went abroad to get military training in Paris. A conspiracy was hatched to kill Douglas Kingsford, notorious for his cruel ways of dealing with Swadeshi agitators. Two young revolutionaries, 18-year-old Khudiram Bose and 19-year-old Prafulla Chakki, were entrusted with the task of carrying out the killing. On 30th April 1908, they mistakenly threw a bomb on a carriage. Instead of killing Kingsford, they killed two English women. Prafulla Chakki committed suicide, and Khudiram Bose was arrested and hanged for murder. Aurobindo moves along with his brother Barinder Kumar Ghosh and 35 other comrades were arrested. Chitrandan Das took up the Alipur bomb case. Uh, uh, Ghosh was acquitted of all charges. Barinder Kumar Ghosh and Ullas Sardust were given the death penalty, with the rest being condemned to transportation for life. The year-long hearing of Alipur bomb case made a great impact to the general public. After his acquittal, Aurobindo Ghosh led a spiritual path and is based to Pondicherry, where he stayed until his death in 1950. The reason for the gradual decline in the revolutionary activities in Bengal was a combination of government repression and alienation from the people. Most of revolutionaries were drawn from the three upper castes: Brahmin, Kayasa, and Vaishya. In December 1908, the Parliamentary reforms, constitutional reforms were announced. The moderates welcomed the reforms, however, they soon realized there's hardly any shift in power. In fact, measures taken by Minto were highly divisible, whereas constitutionalized communal electorates, creating Hindu-Muslim divide. Despite this, the colonial government also introduced repressive laws that use newspapers incitement to offence. Act 1908. This act empowered the magistrate to confiscate press property which published objectionable material. The Indian Press Act 1910 made it mandatory for publishers to deposit a security in case they printed obnoxious material. The Indian Criminal Law Amendment Act allowed summary trials and also imposed the prohibition of association dangerous to the public peace. Swadeshi movement in Tirunelveli district garnered a lot of attention and support. There was a deep divide in Tamil Congress between moderates and extremists. The movement was more of for a reaction to the partition of Bengal, and regular meetings were held to protest the partition. The speakers mostly in vernacular language were an audience that included students, lawyers, and laborers. The shift from English oratory to vernacular oratory was a significant development at this time, which had a huge impact on the mass politics in Tamil Nadu. Suggesting meetings at the Marina Beach in Madras were a regular sight. The Moor Market Complex in Madras were another venue utilized for such gatherings. Europeans in public places were greeted by the students with shouts of Vande Mataram. In 1907, Bipin Chandra Pal came to Madras, and his speeches on the Madras beach electrified the audience and won new converts to the nationalist cause. This visit had a profound impact all over Tamil Nadu. The public speeches in the Tamil language created an audience which was absent during the formative years of the political activities of Tamil Nadu. The suggestive movement in Tamil Nadu came to national attention in 1906 when VOC mooted the idea of launching a shipping venture in opposition to the monopoly of British. In 1906, VOC registered a joint stock company called the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company with a capital of 10 lakh divided into 20,000 shares of rupees 225 each. POC purchased two ships, Galia and Lowe. Within the other parts of India, the response to Swadeshi was limited to simple cases of making candles and bangles. The idea of Swadeshi steam navigation was really spectacular. They invoked the VOC invokes the rich history of the region and maritime glory of India's past and used it as a reference point to galvanize the public opinion in favor of a Swadeshi venture into the sea. VOC was lauded by the national leaders Tilak, who wrote about the success of Swadeshi navigation company's papers Kesari and Maharata. Aurobindo Ghosh also lauded the Swadeshi efforts and promoted the sale of shares in the company. The major shareholders included Pandit Urai and Haji Fakir Muhammad. The initial response for the British administration was to ignore the Swadeshi company. As for the Swadeshi company increased, the European officials exhibited blatant bias and racial partially against the Swadeshi steam ship. After attending the session of the Indian National Congress at Surat, VOC on his return to work on building. While looking for an able orator, he came across Subramanian Deshia, Swadeshi preacher from February to March 1907. Both the leaders addressed meetings on a daily basis at the beach in Tuticorin, educating the people about Swadeshi and the boycott campaign. In 1908, the object of working and living conditions of coral milk workers attracted the attention of VOC and CIO. The next few days, both the leaders addressed the mill workers. The strike of the mill workers was backed by nationalist newspapers. Arabindo Ghost Vande Mataram hailed the strike as forging a bond between educated class and masses, which is the great step towards Swaraj. Every victory is of Indian labor is a victory for the nation. The growth of newspapers both in English uh,